When I started out this journey, I didn't have all the things I needed, okay? And I still don't. But I have enough material to start, and that's what matters. And I'm saying this goes for everything. But right now it's in reference to my Cyberfalls because I'm best at learning when I'm hands-on, when I'm just learning it for myself, because I can read something and watch something and someone else doing it and read about somebody else doing it a million times over, and it doesn't register properly until I do it myself and I figure it out for myself. And I don't know if that is... But yeah, I didn't have zip ties for a long time. I don't know why. I just didn't buy them. I had everything else. I had the foam, and I found the crin, and I had hairbands and all that. But I didn't have zip ties. And zip ties are what makes the foam go round. It makes the world go round, and it makes the Cyberfalls fuller because you can just pop those bad boys anywhere, and they stay because they're zip tied. And now I have them. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all of the Cyberfalls that I've made that I want to rework, and I am slowly going through and cutting off the foam strips that I hot glued, and I'm meticulously cutting them down and punching holes in them so that I can zip tie them onto the Cyberfalls so they look cooler and that they're at the forefront and I don't struggle with putting them on, which is awesome because, again, this is a learning process, and I ain't afraid to admit it, but I don't know everything. I don't know anything. I hope my mic's working because I'm trying out a new situation. It's on my shirt. I don't know if you can tell. So right now, I'm finishing up my Stardust ones. I know I've updated them a million times, but I ain't never gonna stop, so get used to it and stick around, please. So a little bit about me. I started doing makeup around 13, I want to say, because I was bored. And it started with SFX. I would get liquid latex, and make all sorts of different, just a moment, make all sorts of different, wounds, and, it was my pride and joy when I could freak people out. Looking back, don't know how healthy that was, but it's okay. I don't do it anymore. Kind of geared more towards a beauty makeup at some point. When I was around, 13 to 16, I want to say, I guess I started around 11. I started around 11 with all the SFX stuff, and then around 13 to 16, 11 to 13 to 16 was my beauty era. 16 to 18 was my getting crazy era, because I would start painting I remember, I want to say it was 2018 was the first time that I painted my face completely purple. Not first time, the first time I wore it out, because I had been painting myself in my room, and that's what I would do. I would just paint myself in my room, hang out in my room. I was and I would just post pictures of myself. I was that's another thing I want to bring up. I was a big social media head. I was big on Instagram at the time. I no longer have Instagram. It's been 5 years. 5 years clean, everybody. I know. I'm never going back, probably, unless I have to, for if I ever start performing. Because some places here, if you can't do certain shows unless you have an Instagram, which I understand, but at the same time, let a sign up if they don't have Instagram. What are you talking about? I don't have Instagram anymore, and I'm happy about that. It was not healthy, because I'm not healthy. I just don't have much interest in posting just pictures anymore. I want to start talking, because it kind of pushes me to do more with my abilities, because I think I get comfortable when I'm just performing for myself, I want to start putting it out there, documenting, even if it is just for myself at the end of the day. It's still, I know my mom's watching. Shout out to you. And I love you. And you push me to do better every day. For so long, it felt like all I did was my face. I gave little to no attention to my hair. Maybe I dyed it and styled it every once in a while, but I never did much else, which is funny to me, because for me it was I didn't, and also it was neck down, scalp up. I didn't pay attention to, because makeup is I was just staring at my face, but then that became an unhealthy thing where like I would take 4 hours to do makeup because everything needed to be perfect. I think that's why now when I do my makeup, like I've revamped the way I look and reframed the way I do everything. So when I do makeup, if I mess up, okay, you're gonna cover it up with paint splatter, and you're gonna cover it up with blood splatter. It's gonna be okay. And I think that's the point, is I've kind of made it so that there's no worries in that sense. You don't gotta worry about making a mess if you stay messy, is what I'm saying. So I made an effort, I want to say like last year, to kind of up my ante for my whole look, including my fit with my hair. And one of the easiest ways I do cool hair is 1, dyed extensions, or 2, Cyberfalls. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of, this one was already loose, but these were all glued, hot glued together, and I cut them and I just zip tied them like through, you can literally just see it, zip tied it through like parts of the crin so that it can kind of like have one more layer to do. So I'm choosing where to put it, and I think I'm gonna put it either between these two to make that fuller, or at the end. But sometimes when I put it near the end or the front, it kind of makes it harder to put it on. So I think I'm gonna do it between these two, so it just makes a fuller, makes it fuller. So let's do that. I suffer from loads of anomalies in my mind. I have mental illnesses, and or I am neurodivergent and mentally ill. I am neurodivergent and mentally ill. Hopefully that picked up. Let me say it again for the people in the back. I am mentally ill and neurodivergent. It's like I'm asking to be made fun of. It's okay. That's how I live my life. I have a hard time feeling real. And when that happens, it's easy for me to dissociate from myself in a way that's, I feel foreign in my own. I feel like I'm in a foreign object. I feel like my body is alien and I am controlling an alien object. And I've gotten so comfortable in that. It's familiar because it's always been there as a coping mechanism. And it makes sense as to why. And why I put on these crazy outfits. It's like, my body is only so malleable. But there are parts of it that can be altered and changed without too much pain. There's a little bit of pain in putting a lot of these outfits on. That's why, it's not a sensory friendly thing to do, but it's a visually pleasing thing to do when I put all the oomph and oofs and ahs on, and I look at myself in the mirror and I see something that I created, and for the first time in a while I feel familiar in myself because it's something I put my hands on and I had a force in making. And I think that comes from a place of feeling like I might not have all the control that I would like over my body in the ways that I want sometimes, and how I felt growing up. So now that I am a grown adult and I know what I want to do, and I know I can do it because I've done every single part that adds up to me doing the ultimate thing. There's no reason I can't put it all together and make it work, even if it's not going to work out exactly according to plan or exactly like I want. There are parts that can come true. I'm a true believer that magic exists. It's just way more mundane than we like to acknowledge, but it exists. It's as simple as when you go to sleep at night, your brain creates pathways to allow yourself to enter and create subconsciously a simulation where you can run around and exhaust and process everything that you can't acknowledge at face value when you're awake. So somewhere in the back of your head, something's running, an engine is running. It creates a way for you to process all the extra bullshit you don't have the time and energy to process when you're awake. And that's why sometimes It feels like when you have a lot going on when you're dreaming, you don't ever feel like you rest, you know, because you wake up and you're like, that was so real. I didn't even get time to sleep because it felt so real. I think that's very interesting. I think I'm gonna take a break after this set and then come back and finish filming. Okay. It's always so scary doing this. It's not like too perfect. It's too perfect. Like, I know there's one foam piece that's just showing the back of itself and it just looks raggedy, but I mean, it looks great. I feel like I can't trust it because if it looks too good from the front, you know it's chopped from the back. I hope it doesn't sound like you're literally going through the 9 levels of hell or Dante's Inferno, whatever. I'm not illiterate. I promise. Yeah, okay. I feel like this is like the first year where I feel like not finalized, but confident in where I'm going with my style and confident in like knowing what to look for myself. Because it's always found me. I don't know if that makes that. Let me explain. One of my other beliefs is that the universe will communicate with you in any way it knows you'll listen. So, for instance, if you love music, sometimes messages will repeatedly show itself in music, right? For me, it's all sorts of media, like all across the board: cartoons, comics, shows, movies, music, and it'll find the messages, certain things from the past will find me in a way that just makes sense and speaks to me. I know most of it is the algorithm and they're listening, but some of it is really weird and coincidental, things I haven't spoken where I'm like, oh, maybe my dad did ship me or something, you know? Maybe I am like a government experiment. No, I wouldn't be posting on YouTube, silly. It gets a little messy, but it was so hard for me to clean my room when I was a kid. And then it developed into like me like not wanting any help with cleaning my room when I was an adult. It was my space. I wanted to put my hands on it. I wanted it to be of me. So now like cleaning my room has become one of my biggest like, you know, sanctuary moments, except for when the dust hits me, because the amount of times I've cleaned my room and then have gotten sick because I have inhaled dust is like absurd. So, you know, it does come with its risks, but what good thing doesn't? But yeah, one day, right now I'm still in the middle of like clearing my room out so I can renovate parts of it. But it's a one-man job right now, so it's taking a long time, and I'm not beating myself up over it because I am doing other things in the meantime. If I could stop whatever I'm doing and dedicate my life, 2-3 months of my life, to renovating my room and not worry about anything else, that would be awesome. But things don't always work out the way we want it to. And I'm old. Here's another one of my beliefs is when people say, oh, it gets better, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, things can get better. But it doesn't necessarily mean it gets easier, because things just keep piling on. Things that you weren't responsible for back then, you're now responsible for now. And that doesn't always make it easier for things to get better. So it's a little bit of a paradoxical moment. And I think everybody feels that in certain ways. Because yes, things get better. But sometimes, most times, the way that things go, things don't stop piling up. And sometimes when they pile up so high, we forget the first thing that made us feel this way. And it's just like, it's like we become this pile of problems. I feel like a pile of problems sometimes. Health-wise, physical-wise, mental-wise, all wise. And it's so hard to stop feeling like that when it feels like most of your life is spent trying to fix those problems. I was talking about the room stuff to go back to that other, oh god, I'm a mess right now. I was talking about the room stuff to say that sometimes when you clean your room, you have to make a mess to clean up the initial mess. You have to make a bigger mess, you know? So sometimes when things get messy, and life feels overwhelming and out of hand, I like to imagine or remind myself two things. One, when slingshots get pulled back, yes, sometimes their bands can break, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes it stays intact, and sometimes when they're released, they shoot forth at a velocity that is unknown to most men. And two, sometimes rumbling and tumbling in the mess and inhaling dust and getting sick. How you deal with those moments shapes you. I've always tried to curate an environment for myself that was safe and soothing and allowed myself to express myself fully. And I ain't never gonna stop doing that. Wait, are these the wrong ones? No, that's right. So then, is it, hold on. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Looks like it's meant for the... Oh, what did I do? I think I put it on the wrong... I'm so distracted right now. See, this is why I can't trust y'all. I had it on the wrong side of my head. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like a shoe. I always put my shoes on the wrong side of the foot. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's probably not gonna look as good, and that's the thing. That's the thing about these things. Kind of a hassle, but I love them. I'm not gonna tie it too tightly. Okay. Okay, let's see. How does it look? How does it look? Okay, and I think I can proceed with going ahead and tying this on my other side of my head. I need to retie that bun. Yikes! Okay, that one's coming. That bun's coming out through the front a little bit. Yeah, the buns are coming out, man. It's okay. It's okay. You just gotta kind of. You just gotta kind of. No, that's. Because who's gonna question that? Because who's coming up to you and going, "Hey, your bun is showing," you know? Maybe someone will. But I kind of love the way they look right now. Like, yo. I'm probably gonna tweak them again at some point. But for now, I love them. They're so cute. They're so cute. Okay. Yeah. What I did to these, I'm gonna do to these. Because I already did a little bit of revamping for these. I.e., one to pick up my shoe. But I think I'm gonna move those, and also I have to cut these. Because this is what I would do. Do you see that? This is ridiculous. This is not gonna... No. Like, I understand what I was doing. At the time, it was what I was working with what I had, and I don't... You know, I don't... No hate to myself, but... Come on. We can do better. And we're going to do better now. And I'm so excited to do better, because I'm gonna cut these. I think I might Mod Podge them a little better. And then we're gonna do those, because I don't know, I had this urge to, like, before I created my new set, my pink set, I couldn't create them without revamping all the other ones. Oh, I don't like that. Why is that hidden better? Let's see what it looks like from the back. Is my hair long? Okay. Embarrassing. I'm gonna give these a break. I'm gonna give myself a break. I know these are gonna wear and tear, but I am hopeful that if these break, I can reuse all of the crin because I didn't, like, it can be tied again. I'm not worried about that. Anyways, call me Arnold because I'll be back.
3 days later.
Okay, listen, cut me some slack here. So, as I've evolved in my process of doing these, I'm evolving my process. So today we're gonna do it a little differently than I usually do it. Usually I start with the foam pieces so I can kind of get a grasp of what like style I'm going for, but this time I know what style I'm going for. And I kind of know what I'm gonna do with the foam pieces, so I'm gonna save that for the last thing. And right now I have all my pieces cut out because you saw me do that. Or if you watched me, you saw me do that. And then we're just gonna tie them. We're gonna do the crin first, then we're gonna cut some ribbon for that, and then we're gonna do the foam pieces. Period. Okay. Let's get to it. I'm thinking I'm gonna start with this piece so I can kind of just get it over with. Cause like usually I like to go like lengthwise, and I think this is the longest piece, so I'll start with the longest and then we'll go from there. I know this is going to be a mess. I know this is going to be a crusty, raggedy, cheap, not even ostrich, not even chicken, faux feather mess. It's going to constantly shed. But I don't care. I will style it regardless, and I will leave my sheddings everywhere. Quite frankly, I don't want to, but I have to. Talked about it in previous shorts. There's only so many methods you can do with tying these to the bands you want them on, and usually what people do is called the loop method, but I tie them on like once you buckle my shoe. Don't take my advice ever on anything, no matter what, ever. It's not just basic. I double knot them, kind of. Don't ever try to come at me and tell me that I don't double knot them because I double knot them. In the middle of the process so I can start layering because there's a jarring cutoff from this length to these guys. Maybe I can do these ones, but I'm definitely going to start cutting some ribbon, so we're going to do that too. Okay, we're finishing up here. It's looking insane and I can't wait to put it on. The foam pieces are really going to be the finishing touch because they always are. After I'm done with the first one, I'm gonna take a break and we're gonna have a challenging moment when I come back because I'm gonna have to remember what order I put all the crin in so I can do it on the second piece, which is gonna be fun. But I've done it before and I'll do it again. One thing I do want to say that I've been really enjoying about being a small channel is that it's opened my eyes to so many other small channels. It's been awesome. In this day and age of AI slop and YouTube's questionable policy changes, it's like they're trying to push out small creators, and we need to get more in. Back to the grind, and then we're gonna take a break, and then we'll finish, and then everything will be okay. Everything will be restored. I have to cut some white tubing to fill some in if I need it. I might not need it, but I think I'm gonna want to do it. My method with putting this one together was pure vibes because I just kind of went with the layering and length more than like the color scheme, but I think it's coming out pretty good. I'm excited to add all the extra oomph and ahs, but we'll get there. I keep reminding myself throughout this chaotic process that it doesn't matter if I don't do both sides at the same time, because I can see where I put them on onto the band if I kind of separate it, and also I can kind of guess what length piece by folding the other pieces in half, because I cut an equal amount of pieces off for both sides, so both parties already have what they need. I don't need to cut anything. Update, they're done. These are going to be the most annoying pair of things to wear and to witness, and I cannot wait. They look insane. My plan now is to work on the foam pieces, the foam accents that I'm going to zip tie on top. And my inspiration for that, hopefully I'll have a bunch of pictures, very Y2K Barbie. I don't know the name of the exact aesthetic, but like there's a certain type of vibe that a lot of the toys in the early 2000s and like the websites that they had in the early 2000s had. So like the shapes and symbols for like the butterflies and the swirls, very. Later this week I have a shipment coming in that is something that is a long time in the making, or not making, running, I don't know the right word, but I've been wanting this thing for a long time. And it's basically, so I have teeth paint where like I can make my teeth black or red, and I was wanting something that would color my gums and my tongue safely. So I found this product called Mouth FX, and it's literally like you put like 3 or 4 drops and you switch it around and it like coats everything. Not forever, obviously, but like I'm excited to try it out. I'm probably going to do a video on trying out the colors that I got, because I got quite a few. And it's also going to be a part of my new digital lookbook that I'm going to be working on with this set and the product that I'm getting. So I'm very excited for that video, because I'm planning on making it a little longer than my last one and a little bit more elaborate, hopefully, because I'm trying to learn some new editing skills and all that. We're gonna make do with what we have and have a fun time while doing it. And I think that's the point. So I'm probably not gonna finish it tonight, because looking at the inspiration, I only brought like a limited amount of colors, and they're mainly purples and pinks. So I'm going to wait till I get home to finish some of it, because I do want to incorporate some greens and maybe some oranges. But we're gonna get what we can get done tonight, and I'm gonna try and work on the flower design that hopefully you see on screen. I will see you when I talk to you again, so stay tuned. She is very delicate right now because I haven't glued her down, but I'm loving how it's coming out. It's my take on the Barbie flower design, and I think Barbie would be proud.